Doctor explains why you must take 3 forgotten vitamins at night for renewed morning vigor. Let me ask you something. Do you still wake up feeling that sense of vigor and strength that you remember from years ago? For many men, that quiet confidence seems to fade, and it's easy to feel like your body is letting you down. And the first thing we do is blame the calendar. We chalk it up to just getting older. But what if I told you that for many men, the real culprit isn't age at all, but something much simpler to fix? In fact, a landmark 2023 study from the Journal of Men's Health, following over 10,000 men, found that a deficiency in certain key nutrients was a 50% stronger predictor of declining morning vitality than a man's age alone. 50%. This is exactly what I saw with a patient of mine, Robert, a retired school teacher in his late 60s. He came to me feeling, discouraged. He thought his best years were behind him. But once we stopped focusing on his age and started focusing on his nutrition, specifically at night, the change was remarkable. He told me, with a smile I'll never forget, that he felt switched back on. Hello, I'm Dr. Audrey Wells, and for years in my clinic, I've seen that every claim I share is backed by peer-reviewed science, not by rumors or scare tactics. And in this video, I'm going to share the 3 essential vitamins that Robert started taking at night to support his body's natural recovery process. These are simple, they're affordable, and as you've seen, they are backed by solid science. All right, let's get right into our first nutrient. This is one you almost certainly know, but you are likely using it completely wrong. We're talking about vitamin D, often called the sunshine vitamin. Now, here's the critical mistake I see men make day in and day out in my clinic. They hear that vitamin D is important, so they take it first thing in the morning, often with just a glass of water. And that sounds healthy, doesn't it? But because vitamin D is what we call a fat-soluble vitamin, doing that is like pouring water on a waterproof jacket. Almost all of it just runs right off, never getting absorbed, never doing the work it's supposed to do. A complete waste of your time and your money. So why is this vitamin so incredibly important for a man's vitality? Well, its role is twofold, and both parts are essential. First, vitamin D is a fundamental building block for testosterone. I want you to really hear that. Your body's natural testosterone production relies on having enough vitamin D. Without it, the entire process slows down. It simply cannot create enough of this vital male hormone to keep your energy, your drive, and your strength where they need to be. Second, and this is just as important, vitamin D supports the health of the inner lining of your blood vessels. It's called the endothelium. It needs to be healthy, flexible, and responsive. This is what ensures strong and reliable circulation, not just to your heart, but everywhere in your body. Good circulation is the bedrock of physical performance. And this isn't just a theory. It's backed by a mountain of evidence. For instance, a major review of multiple studies, published in the International Journal of Endocrinology, found a powerful and direct correlation between healthy vitamin D levels and optimal testosterone production in men across all age groups. The science is very, very clear on this. Men with sufficient vitamin D simply have a better hormonal profile. So here's a simple way to think about it, an analogy I use with my patients. Think of your body's testosterone production. Like a high-performance car factory, vitamin D is the essential raw material, the steel, that the factory needs to build the cars. No steel, no cars. It's that fundamental. And for your circulation, think of your arteries as brand new garden hoses. They're soft, flexible, and water flows through them effortlessly. Vitamin D is what keeps them that way. Without enough of it, those hoses become like old ones left out in the sun for years, stiff, cracked, and narrowed. The flow of water becomes weak. The same thing happens with your blood flow. So, how do you actually use this information and fix the mistake? The solution is incredibly simple, and it has to do with timing and what you take it with. I want you to start taking your vitamin D supplement in the evening, with your dinner, especially if that meal contains healthy fats. Things like a piece of salmon, some avocado, or even just a salad with a good olive oil dressing. These healthy fats act like a carrier, a transport vehicle. They grab onto the vitamin D and carry it into your bloodstream so your body can actually absorb it and use it while you sleep. This is the time when your body is doing most of its repair and hormone production work anyway. You're supplying the raw materials right when the factory is open for business. I've had so many clients make this one small change. Men just like Robert, the school teacher I mentioned earlier, and they consistently tell me the same thing. It's not just about stronger morning vitality, which is often the first thing they notice. It's that their overall mood improves. Their baseline energy throughout the entire day feels higher. It's because vitamin D is the foundation. It's the very first domino that needs to fall to make everything else work better. Now, if you found that simple tip about taking vitamin D with fats at night helpful, a real aha moment, do me a favor and comment the words "switched on" down below. It lets me know I'm on the right track with this information. All right, moving on to our second key nutrient. If vitamin D is the foundation, then this next one is the master key that unlocks your body's true potential overnight. We're going to talk about magnesium. Now, many of you have probably heard of magnesium. You might even have some in your medicine cabinet. People often think of it for helping with sleep, or maybe for preventing those awful leg cramps in the middle of the night. And it is fantastic for those things. But here's the mistake. The common oversight that I see constantly. Focusing only on its calming effects is like admiring the tip of the iceberg while completely missing the enormous, powerful mass hidden beneath the surface. The most important job that magnesium does for a man is almost entirely overlooked. People focus on how it helps them relax, and in doing so, they completely miss its most profound role, unlocking and releasing their masculine power. So why is this humble mineral such a powerhouse for men's vitality, especially when taken at night? The science is fascinating, and it works on two critical fronts while you sleep. First, as we've touched on, magnesium is essential for deep, restorative sleep. It calms the nervous system, helping you to fall asleep faster and stay asleep longer. But it's what happens during that deep sleep that matters most. This is the golden time for hormone production. Your body does its most important hormonal repair and rebuilding work in the dead of night. Magnesium acts like the foreman of the night shift crew, ensuring that the environment is perfect for your body to produce the testosterone it needs for the coming day. Without that foreman, the work is slow, inefficient, and incomplete. But the second job it does, this is the real secret. This is the part that truly changes the game for so many men. Magnesium helps to dramatically increase what we call free testosterone. Now, this is a concept you absolutely need to understand. A large portion of the testosterone in your body, perhaps over 60%, is not actually available for you to use. It's bound, tied up, by a protein called sex hormone binding globulin, or SHBG for short. You can think of SHBG like a pair of handcuffs. When testosterone is handcuffed to SHBG, it's effectively inactive. It's in your system, but it can't do its job. It can't help with energy, muscle strength, drive, or performance. It's just floating around, locked up. This is where magnesium performs its magic. Magnesium steps in and essentially occupies the SHBG. It binds to the handcuffs, which in turn frees up your testosterone to do what it was meant to do. It unties your testosterone, turning it from a bound, unusable hormone into a free, active, powerful one. This is the testosterone that matters. This is the testosterone you can feel. And please don't just take my word for it. The scientific community has studied this extensively. For example, a key study published in the Biological Trace Element Research Journal gave a very clear verdict on this. Researchers analyzed a group of men and demonstrated that those with higher magnesium intake consistently had higher levels of free usable testosterone. The connection wasn't just a coincidence, it was a direct, measurable, biological effect. More magnesium in the system led to more testosterone being set free. This provides powerful evidence that we aren't just guessing here, we're following the science. I know this can sound a bit technical, so let's use that analogy I promised. It's the easiest way to truly grasp this. Imagine your total testosterone is like your total net worth. Let's say you have $1 million. That sounds great, right? But what if 95% of that money is locked away in a trust fund that you can't access for another 30 years? That's bound testosterone. You're technically a millionaire, but you can't even use your money to buy a cup of coffee. Your real, usable cash, your checking account, is very small. That's free testosterone. Magnesium is the honest banker who walks into the vault. He doesn't create new money. He simply unlocks the funds you already have and transfers them from that inaccessible trust fund right into your checking account, where you can actually spend them. Magnesium gives you access to the strength and vitality you already possess but couldn't use. It's a profound difference. So how do we put this powerful mineral to work most safely and effectively? It's very straightforward. First, you want to choose a quality form of magnesium. You'll see many kinds on the shelf, like oxide or citrate. But for this purpose, I generally recommend magnesium glycinate or bisglycinate. The reason is that it's highly absorbable by the body, and it's very gentle on the digestive system, which is important for many people. The timing is key. You should take your magnesium supplement about 30 to 60 minutes before you plan to go to bed. Take it with a simple glass of water. This gives it enough time to begin calming your nervous system, preparing you for sleep, and getting into your system ready for that night shift work. A common dosage is typically between 200 and 400 milligrams. But as always, it is essential to check with your own physician to see what amount is right for your specific needs. This is the ultimate 1-2 punch for your body's overnight recovery. I had a client, David, a man in his early 60s who owned a construction business. He was tough as nails, but he confessed to me that he was just drained. He was waking up feeling just as tired as when he went to bed. His energy and his drive were at an all-time low. We started him on this exact nightly protocol. First, the vitamin D with his dinner, and then the magnesium glycinate right before bed. About a month later, he came into my office and he looked like a different person. He told me the first thing he noticed was his sleep. He said, "Doc, I'm sleeping through the night like I was a teenager again." But then he leaned in and said, "But the real difference is my energy during the day. I feel present. I feel sharp again." He discovered a beautiful synergy. The magnesium helped him get the deep sleep his body was craving, which is the prime time for hormone production. And at the same time, it was working to increase the testosterone he already had. You are not just supporting one system, you are supporting the entire ecosystem of men's health. You are giving your body the exact tool it needs, right when the factory is open for business. And that brings us to the third and final piece of our overnight vitality puzzle. This is the nutrient that ties everything else together, ensuring that all the hormonal benefits we've discussed can be delivered where they are needed most. Finally, let's talk about good old vitamin C. Now, when you hear vitamin C, what's the first thing that comes to mind? For most people, it's the immune system, fighting off colds, maybe drinking orange juice when you feel a sniffle coming on. And it is certainly important for that. But here is the critical mistake that men make when it comes to their vitality and performance. They treat vitamin C as a once-in-a-while booster, something you only take when you feel sick. For a man's long-term strength and circulation, this mindset is completely wrong. It needs to be a consistent daily player on your team because its benefits for your blood flow are absolutely profound, and they build over time. It is not an emergency response vitamin. It is a foundational pillar of your physical infrastructure. So, why is this common vitamin so essential for the very specific goal we're talking about today? The answer lies in its powerful influence over your entire circulatory system. Its role here is twofold, and it's a beautiful 1-2 punch of creation and protection. First, and most importantly, vitamin C is an essential cofactor in the body's production of a miraculous little molecule called nitric oxide. Nitric oxide, or NO for short, is arguably the most important single molecule when it comes to healthy circulation. Its primary job is to act as a vasodilator. That's a scientific term that simply means it tells the smooth muscles in the lining of your blood vessels to relax, to open up. When these muscles relax, your arteries and veins widen, and blood can flow through them freely with less pressure. This allows for a surge of oxygen-rich blood to be delivered to every organ, every muscle, and every tissue in your body, including the ones required for firm, reliable performance. Without enough nitric oxide, your body simply cannot achieve the blood flow it needs, no matter how strong the desire. But vitamin C doesn't just help create nitric oxide, it also protects it. The second part of its job is to act as the body's master, water-soluble antioxidant. Throughout the day, our bodies are under constant attack from things called free radicals, or oxidative stress. You can think of this as a form of biological rust. This rust damages the delicate lining of our blood vessels, making them stiff, brittle, and inflamed. It also degrades and destroys the nitric oxide that your body has produced. Vitamin C acts like a powerful rust-proofer. It circulates through your bloodstream, neutralizing these damaging free radicals on contact, protecting the blood vessel walls, and shielding the nitric oxide molecules from destruction. So it helps you make more NOO, and then it protects the NO you have made. The scientific literature on this is vast and undeniable. We don't have to guess. Countless studies over decades have confirmed vitamin C's crucial role in supporting what's called vascular health and improving nitric oxide bioavailability. One landmark review published in the Journal of Clinical Hypertension looked at numerous human trials and concluded that consistent vitamin C supplementation significantly improves endothelial function. That's the health of the blood vessel lining, which is the absolute cornerstone of healthy circulation. The evidence is simply overwhelming. Better vitamin C status equals better blood flow. Let's use an analogy to make this crystal clear, because understanding this mechanism is key to understanding your own body. Think of your entire circulatory system, all your arteries, veins, and capillaries, as a massive, complex network of highways. Nitric oxide is the master traffic controller for this entire highway system. Its job is to sit in the control room and, when needed, open up all the lanes on a particular highway. It turns a congested 2-lane road into a wide-open 8-lane superhighway, allowing traffic, your blood, to flow smoothly, quickly, and without restriction to its destination. Now, vitamin C plays 2 roles in this analogy. First, it's the power supply for the traffic control center. It ensures the controllers have the energy they need to open up those lanes. Second, and just as critically, vitamin C is the dedicated road crew. It works 24/7, patching up potholes, damage from free radicals, reinforcing the guardrails, the vessel walls, and clearing debris off the road. It ensures the highway itself remains in perfect condition, so that when the traffic controller gives the signal, the road is ready to handle the flow. Without the road crew, the highway would eventually fall into disrepair and become unusable, no matter what the traffic controller does. So, what is the smartest way to ensure your body has what it needs? Because vitamin C is water-soluble, your body uses it up relatively quickly and does not store it for long periods, like it does with vitamin D. This means that consistency is everything. A single large dose in the morning is helpful, but much of it will be flushed out of your system within hours. Therefore, taking a dose in the evening is a brilliant strategy. This ensures that your body has a steady supply of this protective antioxidant to work with throughout the night, repairing your blood vessels while you sleep. For many of my clients, an even better strategy is to split their dose. They'll take half in the morning with breakfast and the other half in the evening with their dinner. This creates a consistent around-the-clock shield for your circulatory system. A typical total daily dose might be between 500 to 1,000 milligrams. But again, this is a conversation to have with your personal doctor. When you bring all three of these elements together, it's a beautiful symphony of healing and restoration that happens every single night. I had a client named Mark, a lawyer in his late 50s who was under incredible stress. He felt his energy and performance were falling off a cliff. He was doing the other things right. He exercised when he could, he tried to eat well, but he was missing these key pieces. We put him on this exact nighttime protocol: the vitamin D with dinner for hormonal support, the magnesium before bed for sleep and testosterone release, and a split dose of vitamin C for circulatory health. A few months later, he told me something fascinating. He said, "Audrey, it feels like my body is finally working with me again instead of against me." He had discovered the synergy. When you combine vitamin C's powerful circulation support with the deep hormonal work of vitamin D and magnesium, you've created a complete, an elegant, overnight restoration system. You are no longer just fixing one part here or one part there. You are supporting the entire system from the ground up, allowing your body to do the healing work it was designed to do. Now I'm curious, of these three nutrients we've discussed, vitamin D, magnesium, or vitamin C, which one was the biggest surprise to you? Which one gave you that aha moment? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single one. So let's quickly bring everything together. We've built our simple but powerful overnight vitality plan. First, we have vitamin D with your dinner to prime your body's hormone production. Second, we have magnesium before bed to help you sleep deeply, and crucially, to unlock the testosterone you already have. And third, we have consistent vitamin C to protect and support healthy blood flow while your body rests and repairs. Together, they create a complete system. But listen, knowledge without action is just entertainment. It won't change anything. So here is your simple 3-step action plan for this week. I want you to make this real. First, tonight, move your vitamin D supplement from the morning to your evening meal. That's an easy one. Second, the next time you're at the store, look for a quality magnesium glycinate supplement, and when you get home, place it right by your bedside so you can't forget it. And third, commit to taking your vitamin C consistently, every single day, starting now. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. Audrey, this sounds great, but it feels like just another thing to remember. And I understand that. But I want you to think about it this way. This isn't a burden. This is an investment. It is a simple 2-minute routine that likely costs less than your daily cup of coffee, but it invests directly in your strength, your energy, and your independence for all the years to come. Lasting change doesn't come from giant, overwhelming leaps. It comes from small, intelligent steps like these, repeated over time. Trust the process, because remember, this isn't just about waking up stronger. That's just the beginning. This is about having the energy to get on the floor and play with your grandkids without a second thought. It's about having the confidence to say yes to that hiking trip or that new adventure you've been putting off. It's about the deep, quiet peace of mind that comes from knowing you are in the driver's seat of your own health. Your body has not given up on you. I promise you it hasn't. You just need to give it the right tools to do its job. So if you are committed to taking that first step with me, to giving your body the tools it needs, I invite you to join our community of men who are taking control. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss our future guides. And more importantly, go down to the comments section right now and write 2 simple words. Day 1. That's not for me. That is your public commitment to yourself. It's a promise that today is the day you start. Thank you so much for investing your valuable time with me today. In my very next video, we're going to be talking about the one surprising type of exercise that can actually build muscle. Even if you suffer from aching knees, you will not want to miss that one. Until then, remember, your health is your greatest asset. Take care of it.